Hey everybody, it's Trags, Mike Petraglia, alongside once again Josue Pavon from WEEI and CLNS Media. Of course, the Celtics get it done, 117-101. Josue, it was rhythm versus rust. Rhythm won out for the Celtics in game number one, just 48 hours after dispatching the Milwaukee Bucks in game 7. They look like the much fresher team than the 76ers, who were very rusty from the start of the game, and they really could never get an offensive rhythm going.
Very well put, Track. I like the way you said that. I mean, from behind the arc, from the perimeter, I mean, Al Horford, Terry Rozier, Jason Tatum, these guys combined for over 80 points today. 80 points, Trags, for against a very good defensive team. The Celtics managed to tack on 117 points. I mean, it just speaks volumes for what this home crowd did for them tonight, and also how they can really get it going, those three guys, when their shots are falling, especially from the outside. Philadelphia's going to have to make some adjustments to make sure that doesn't happen in Game 2.
Okay, before we go any further, Joel Embiid took a thinly veiled shot at the Boston fans after the game. Speaking, he was asked actually exactly that, Josue. What about the Boston fans, how loud it was in here on Monday night? And he said, Philly fans are louder, trust me. And then he said, Boston fans say some crazy things, but we'll have our chance.
Joel. He's going to learn the hard way, Trags. Game 2, you know, the fans don't forget things, especially when you're throwing shots.
No, they don't.
So you're the new target now for Game 2, Joel. So I hope that'll be, you know, we'll see how that pans out. I got a chance to see what Simmons had to say about the chance. He went the right route and said, look, it doesn't bother me. I'm used to it. Whatever, it happens. That doesn't bother me at all. I'll be ready to bounce back in Game 2. So we'll see how he responds.
Joel, to his credit, though, did say these fans here are crazy. They're great, and they certainly got behind the Celtics here in game number 1. Let's talk about the three-point shooting. Doc Rivers once said, of course, Brad Stevens' predecessor here in Boston, it's a make-or-miss league. The Celtics made big time from beyond the arc, 17 for 36 from three-point range. The 76ers, not so much, 5 for 25. Yeah. Really, to me, in a nutshell, Josue, that was the game.
Well, I think if you're Philadelphia fans, you have to realize that this is, you have to be frustrated with the fact that, I mean, Al Horford got a lot of looks outside. It looked like he had an hour to take some of these shots, Tracks. And of course, I am exaggerating, but I mean, there was just way too much space. I feel like the bigs just weren't getting out there, whether it was behind the arc or right in front. They have to find a way to run out and put a hand in these guys' faces. Terry Rozier, I mean, 7 3-pointers. Again, a lot of these shots were wide open, and I think that's something they're going to have to adjust. Brent Brown talked about that after the game. He said they didn't play like themselves offensively, defensively. Just flat out said he didn't think that these guys were in it throughout the entire 48 minutes, throughout any point or any stretch that he feel like his guys were dialed in. So we'll see the adjustments they make. But, yeah, I mean, it's been a while since I've seen the Celtics have that many open looks from the outside. And, you know, they made Philadelphia pay.
To your point, I asked Joel Embiid about the apparent lack of ball movement offensively from Philadelphia's perspective, and his answer was, it starts with our defense, and our defense was pretty, I'll clean it up here, crappy. You can kind of figure out what he really did say. Our defense was crappy all night long. We didn't get out to the perimeter, and really, that's Joel Embiid, I think, showing a decent amount of maturity there, saying that, yeah, we've got to be better defensively, because if we're not, it's not going to get any better. How about Brad Stevens after this game telling everybody, we've got to get a lot better, because there are many things that the Sixers exposed us on. I think a couple of the things that Brad might be talking about is the second and third effort. Philadelphia won that battle, won the second and third effort battle in the first half. They just couldn't convert.
I also thought they were aggressive, you know. I saw a lot of trips to the free throw line. I mean, some people may say the referees or, you know, some questionable call.
Yeah, I didn't see it that way.
I didn't see it that way exactly, Trags. I know some of the fans were thinking that, but I just thought they were really aggressive. They got to the free throw line. They were a plus 10 after 3 quarters. To finish the game, a plus 16, and I think that's something that they're going to continue to utilize throughout Game 2. I mean, they have the bodies for it. Joel Embiid, I mean, without him, those 10 points in the third quarter, they really would have, this game would have really got away from them quicker than it did, you know, obviously in that final frame. But, I mean, Joel Embiid was one heck of a player. Just showed how, you know, dominant he can be in this game. All he needs is a couple other guys defensively. They can step things up. I wouldn't be surprised if this series is tied up after Thursday night.
Let's talk about one more player before we wrap things up, Jason Tatum. He didn't necessarily have to do all of his scoring from the perimeter. I thought the most encouraging thing about Jason Tatum, a true rookie, as the Boston fans reminded Ben Simmons and the Sixers all night long, the thing about Jason Tatum here on Monday night, he drove to the basket. time after time after time.
Yes, he did a great balance of going inside and also using that fadeaway jump shot that we've been talking about all season long. So hard to defend, and when he's got that going, he becomes a very special player on the court, especially offensively. I thought we're going to continue to see more of that. I thought he certainly picked his spots. He was very wise the way he picked the spots, and the way he attacked, I felt like really made Celtics comfortable and had the lead that they needed to have, especially without Jaylen Brown. One heck of a performance. The fact that they were able to win by this many points without Jaylen Brown just speaks volumes for how explosive these guys were tonight.
And here's some perspective. This was just Philadelphia's second loss in their last 22 games overall. Of course, they were the first team ever to win their last 16 regular season games. They beat Miami 4-1. Just their second loss in 22 games overall. They're going to be hungry on Thursday night.
Absolutely, Trags. Look for them to bounce back strong. This will be a close one here tonight, Thursday night. They have the extra day. You know, that's something that not a lot of teams have when the series is not switching venues. So they will use that to their advantage. And I think they're really confident. You know, it was a pretty lighthearted locker room. Some faces were down, but for the most part, they're very upbeat about what happened today. They know that they're able to bounce back. They know that this wasn't the 76ers that they've been. And hopefully on the Celtics side, if Jaylen Brown's able to come back, you know, Al Horford talked about how they had a conversation. You know, he really, really fought to try to play in this one. And at the end of the day, Al Horford said, listen, we need you for the series. We need you for the long haul. You know, we don't want something for you to happen in game one and you're out for the series. Hopefully, the Celtics can have him back in game two, which will obviously give them a huge help, a huge boost on both ends of the floor. And we're going to be seeing one heck of a game in game two Thursday night here at the Garden.
Terry Rozier, 29 points. Jason Tatum, 28 points. Both career playoff highs, offsetting the 31 points and 13 rebounds of Joel Embiid. The Celtics get it done in game number one here at TD Garden by a final score of 117-101. That is the Garden Report here inside TD Garden. Follow all of our coverage on CLNS Media and follow us on Twitter at CelticsCLNS. He is Josue Pavon. I'm Mike Petraglia, CLNS Media.